Hello there, my dare giver. And yes, I said dare giver, not caregiver. A dare giver is someone who dares to use new techniques and new challenges and new scripts to get the solutions and the results and the outcomes that they need from their person with dementia. I'm Debra, your #1 world dementia educator. Whew. And I'm here to help you to get through these struggling times, these difficult times with your person with dementia as easy and seamlessly as possible. People have told me that they find peace and comfort and they reduce their stress levels by 80 to 90% after taking my 4-day course. But it's my mission and my life's work to make your life easier and your person with dementia. We have to learn how to calm them down in seconds, and we need to get our life back, and we need to find the love again, because there's a lot of hate, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of resentment on both sides. And so I can help you get rid of all of that. So I want to talk to you today about something that's called mixed dementia. And a lot of people aren't really aware of this disease of mixed dementia. And it's actually quite simple. Mixed dementia is when a person is diagnosed with more than one type of dementia. And first, I'd like to kind of go over the difference between Alzheimer's and dementia, because this is the question that I get the most. So the difference between Alzheimer's and dementia is that Alzheimer's is a disease and dementia is a group of symptoms that comes with having the disease. So when we talk about what Alzheimer's disease is, it's a disease that causes plaques and tangles in the brain that kills the nerve cells, the brain cells, okay? When the brain cells die, that's when you have brain damage. The damage to the tissue and the brain is what causes the dementia symptoms. So Alzheimer's is the disease that kills the brain tissue. When the brain tissue has died, then you have dementia symptoms. So there are many different types of dementia. There's Alzheimer's disease, frontotemporal, Lewy body, Parkinson's, CTE with the concussions, and they're all caused by different things, but they cause brain damage, which in turn gives you the dementia symptoms. And that's why the symptoms are different for different diseases. So for instance, Alzheimer's disease, classic, especially in the early stages, is short-term memory loss. And that's because the damage to the brain happens in the hippocampus. And so Alzheimer's disease, you typically have short-term memory loss and things like that. But for frontotemporal dementia, which happens in the frontal and temporal lobes, those early warning signs, they usually don't lose their short-term memory loss at the beginning. It's more they're inappropriate, sexually inappropriate, rude, personality changes. They can get very orally fixated, put things in their mouth, click their tongues, things like that. Vascular dementia depends on where the event happens in the brain, so that can have different symptoms. Problems with language and speaking. So different dementias have different symptoms. So the disease is what causes the damage to the brain and the cells, and when the brain tissue is dead, decaying, or died, that's when you have dementia symptoms. So dementia is a symptom and the disease is a disease. So I hope that makes sense. If that makes sense, put that makes sense in the comments. So I want to talk briefly about mixed dementia. And before I do that though, I have this really wonderful guide for you. This is found on the website, which the website is located below, but it's answersabout.alz.org, O-R-G, and this is called Understanding Different Types of Dementia. And so it has Alzheimer's, vascular, frontotemporal, Lewy body, CTE, Parkinson's, Korsakoff syndrome, which is the alcohol related. It has the average life expectancy after diagnosis, and it has the causes, right? Because remember, different dementias are caused by different proteins or prions or plaques and tangles, all different reasons why we develop different types of dementia. And then the symptoms that you get after the disease has taken away or killed that brain tissue. So the really cool thing about this is that you can look at these symptoms and you might think, you know what? My loved one may have mixed dementia, because they definitely may have more than one type of dementia. And it's interesting, the more we learn about dementia and the more we research it, there's always new things coming out, right? So it wasn't too long ago, I was doing some research and I came upon this article that had mentioned it was somewhere, I wish I could remember the exact number, but it was over 80% of people who have been diagnosed with one type of dementia and they had an autopsy. They found at least 2, if not 3, different types of dementia in the brain. So that kind of tells me that quite possibly the doctors, once they pick a diagnosis, like once they figure it out and they say, hey, you have Alzheimer's disease, they're not actively digging and doing a deeper dive to see if you have another type of dementia, right? So this could be a very important fact-finding sheet for you to bring this attention to your doctor if you're noticing other signs and symptoms from another type of dementia. And the other thing is too, I want you to be aware of, often, and it's not uncommon for a doctor to change the diagnosis of what type of dementia your person has after they've taken more history and had more visits with the physician. So don't think that your doctor's not a good doctor if they change their diagnosis. In fact, that would probably tell me that they're still looking at facts and figuring things out, and they're not afraid to say, you know what, now I think it's this and not that. That to me actually says that's a good doctor. So make sure that you're keeping that in mind if your diagnosis changes over time. But it also may be mixed dementia, right? They could have both. They definitely could have both. So this is a really, really great informational sheet for you to have. And again, like this is just a starter, right? So if you think that your person may have a dual diagnosis, then please, by all means, do some of your own research and look up the 2 different ones and get even more detailed information on signs and symptoms to be looking for. Because a lot of these do overlap, right? And over time, your person will have most of these symptoms no matter what type of dementia they have. But they usually start out differently. So it's the journey. It's the journey that you're on. And I know that this journey is hard. I know that you are struggling. I know that you're going through a lot of emotions on your own. I know that communication is really difficult. And I know that you're probably feeling like you're out on this deserted island all by yourself. I want you to know that you're not alone. I want you to know that you're doing the best that you can. And there really are no other places to go to get the information that I can give you. The scripts, the strategies, the techniques that are going to work because I know that when you're in your living room or in your mom's bathroom and you're trying to get them to do personal hygiene tasks that are very important, or they're not eating. I can't tell you how many students have come to me and said, my mom has lost so much weight, she just doesn't eat. And I'm like, do this, do this, do this, do this. Done. Like, it's truly remarkable. Or my mom always wants to go home. I can't get her away from the door. She always wants to go home. Do this, say this, say that. Done. Like, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. I had a gentleman the other day tell me that his mother would stay up all night, and he had cameras. She would stay up all night because she thought people were coming from the highway and going to knock on her door and ask to use her telephone. And she was afraid. She didn't want to open the door in the middle of the night, but she thought they were coming. I said, do this, say this, do that. Gone. Gone. She doesn't worry about it anymore. She sleeps through the night now. So I know you're dealing with a lot, and I get it. And the only thing missing is skills. That's all you're missing. Like, how do you do what you don't know how to do, right? How do you do what you don't know how to do? Well, you can't. So let me show you. I can show you what to do and how to make this so much easier. So much easier. Bring you some peace of mind. And then you can join our community where there's others just like you. So, mixed dementia, very common. Very, very common. Stick around for a second if you're interested in hearing more about applying for the course and how to go about that. Just hang on for another second. There will be a little teeny quick blip for you on how to go to the website and book a call in the top right corner and talk to a dementia coach about what you're going through, because we want to hear what you're going through. And this is just a phone call to see what you're struggling with and see if we can even help you, right? Simple. We want to make this journey much easier for you, and you deserve it. Boy, oh boy, do you deserve it. I know how hard you're working. I know the pain that you're going through. I know what you've given up. You've given up a lot, and they're probably not thanking you. So you know what? I thank you. I thank you, Caregiver, for all you've done. I thank you for all you've given up, and I thank you for all you're going to do in the future. And you deserve it. All right, my friend, I will see you next time. Together we can. Would you like to get these same results? This course comes with a 100% money-back guarantee. Join me for the next session before the class is full. To apply, go to answersoboutalz.org or give us a call at 585-775-5949 today.